What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Sage the Mark from It's Real Wrestling Podcast. As you can probably see or notice already, no intro music. Gonna have to pipe that in to the intro on the audio podcast. But your boy's riding a little solo today. Your boy Ben Goosen decided to phone it in without phoning it in at the last minute. And you know how your boy feels about that. He's really getting close to getting the dunce of the year. But I digress. If you're new to the show, please be sure to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you're watching us live here on YouTube. On the audio podcast, make sure that you check us out on Twitter at Real WrestleCast on Twitter. It's Real Wrestling Podcast on Instagram, on the IG. Also, shout out to Silky Mel. Again, he's still taking donations. You guys can check out our Twitter or Instagram for details on that. But if you guys can help with that, please make sure that you take some time to do that. Also, wanted to just share that it is National Mental Illness Month, Mental Health Illness Month. Probably slaughtered that or so. But please, this is definitely something that, as you get, I've expressed this in the past, something that's near and dear to my heart. If I'm sorry, guys. Make sure that you take the time to share joy and love to everyone. There's a lot of people that are going through a lot of bad things in life, and they don't have to go through it alone. And if you're one of those, always know that someone is there to help. There's a lot of great information out there, a lot of great organizations like the National Alliance of Mental Illness, NAMI. It's a great foundation. Go check them out. Not sponsored in any way by here, but if you know anyone that's dealing with depression or have suicidal thoughts, please be sure you guys make sure to know that you're there for them and help them get the help and support that they need. Also wanted to give a quick shout out to the new subscribers. We've had a crazy week last week, or at least since we talked. Our viewership went up, like, I kid you not, like 30,000 on YouTube. So thank you so much for all the love and support from both the gaming and the wrestling community. We feel you. Make sure that you guys give us your feedback. Definitely. Thank you so much for the support. We want to make sure that you guys know that we see you guys out there. Yeah, I'm kind of at a loss of words, to be honest with you. I mean, this week was supposed to be the week Goose and I were going to be talking about Endgame and with the new Spider-Man trailer debuting the multiverse and things of that nature. But, he left me high and dry. Left your boy Sage the Mark high and dry. So I don't know what to say about that. So we're gonna have to get after Goose, Ben Goosen, for that one, because he again left your boy mighty high and dry. I definitely wanted to talk about that in game for sure. But shout out to Smart down there in the chat as well. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't got all the equipment here for you to join me. But next time, but I promise you, we will definitely get that going. So without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about we'll talk about this week in wrestling, and we'll towards the end of everything, we'll start goofing off a little bit here. But this week of wrestling was pretty interesting, and not so much for what was done inside the ring per se, but just kind of the general reaction of everyone in the community, especially after watching half or all of Raw. It just seemed like it was just a complete cluster of craziness going on. Nothing meshed well. Everything was just kind of just out there. The biggest objection that I had, and it kind of goes into what we were talking about last week, was that Last week we were talking heavily about Leo Rush and more specifically about wrestlers and the contract situation that was going on, a backstage heat with Leo Rush and things of that nature. And I've since then, and I've been pretty vocal. I'm a big advocate of wrestlers in general. Especially as independent contractors, I think that they should be, respected a little bit more than what I perceive them to be as a fan outside looking in. And I really thought that the WWE really, like, I can understand now why they would never make these independent contractors W-2s. And the reason being is simple as they would get sued out the wazoo for so much discrimination that they do out there. Like so much discrimination or retaliation that they do. With independent contractors, you can get away with it because they're not employees and there's certain protections that they're not attributed to. But it was completely blatant. Leo Rush is in the doghouse, man. I don't know where to start. I mean, the Lucha House Party came out, and it was a 3-on-1 handicap match against a jobber. And I thought they were going to say like he was from Virginia because I think that's where Leo Rush is from. But they said that he was like from Cincinnati, Ohio, or something like that. The dude looked like Leo Rush, other than the fact that he was, more of a heavier weight kind of guy. But he had the yellow streak in his hair and the body tattoos and everything like that. And it was like a glorified uh, a glorified squash match. And they were just out there to embarrass this cat, and that was definitely a sign about Leo Rush. And I didn't like that, and I thought that was going to be it at the end of the day. I'm surprised commentary didn't say anything about it. But and then later on in the day, I think there was the Joe and Rey Mysterio segment where Rey Mysterio was telling his son to go get him some water in the back, which was definitely also a shot at Leo Rush as well, because he went on the record saying that and I agree, that he didn't think that it was appropriate for him as a young black man to be fetching water and taking people's bags and things of that nature. And I mean, I agree. Those days, like wrestling back then was completely different than it is now. And we've come a long way. Paying dues is like what you do on the indie scenes. Once you've made it to the big times, you've already paid your dues. I think it is demoralizing to be that. And Smart down in the chat said didn't even notice that the Lucha House Party match, but then again, that was so much quick and interesting. My brain was just probably off that time. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't really designed to be a match. Like I said, it was really designed to be more of a shout out to Leo Rush. Like it was a burial shot, and I thought it was just in poor taste. I'm just glad that SmackDown didn't have anything remotely like that, but yeah, I'm not. I mean, I can go on for days about this whole paying dues thing, like I said, you couldn't get away with that in any other business where there would be employees, and I think that it's sad that WWE is just trying to take advantage of people that way. But it is what it is, man. There was a lot of talking segments, like a lot on Raw that I was just like, I think that 45 minutes into the show, and I might be exaggerating just a little bit, we got into an actual match, which that was pretty crazy. And then I don't know what to make about the whole, like Goose has been saying it for probably the past 13 months that he thought that the brand split would be coming to an end. And more so, he thought it would be coming to an end by, I think he said by September of this year. So that Nostradamus, man, he's shout out to Ben Goosen, man. But yeah, it does definitely look like that. I love the brand split when they do it the right way. But just because of the way that the product is right now, I understand that they're probably getting pressure from different networks to kind of end that. But I don't think it's the brand split that's the problem. It's to me, I think it's just more of creative, not doing what they need to do to elevate their talent, what they have on board. It just seems like they keep phoning it in and giving us recycled stuff, and the community has been pretty upset about it. Goose has been pretty vocal week after week to the point where he feels as though that wrestling isn't becoming fun for him anymore. And I can echo that sentiment to some extent. I've kind of felt like that for SmackDown for the last 2 weeks myself. Although this week was definitely a better week in wrestling for SmackDown, which we'll definitely tap into. But when your best segment of the night is a promo, a pre-recorded segment of a not talk show, but like a Pee Wee Herman / Blues Clues kind of thing going on. If that's like your best segment of the night, like that's telling you something is wrong with the overall product. It's not a matter of giving the fans what we want. It's a matter of giving people an opportunity to do what they do best. And I feel like that's what's missing out of this whole entire product. I get that you guys are using Sami Zayn, or that the E is trying to use Sami Zayn as kind of a talking piece. Shout out to the marks, but when you're losing the marks, the people who are truly loyal to the brand, like you're just generally just doing a disservice to it. So, and that was, that's pretty much it. I'm not liking this whole storyline piece between AJ and Seth Rollins. I think it's just trash, to be honest with you. They jerked AJ one direction and then pull him back in the other direction. They can't tell whether or not they want to make him face or make him heel. And it's just it's kind of tiring. We all know that Seth isn't losing this match here. So I mean, I don't even know why they're even kind of fronting and trying that, but it is what it is. SmackDown, like I said, SmackDown was actually a lot better of a show this week. I definitely say that it redeemed itself in comparison to what was going on last week. Last week was just total garbage. You could definitely tell, and this is what I kind of, this is definitely what I admire about SmackDown. You could tell that not all the superstars were there, and I believe that there's a European tour going on, which is the reason why you didn't see like Elias or Roman Reigns. But with the cast that they had, they put on a fantastic show. I absolutely love the fact that Shane came out and was going to award Daniel Bryan and Luke Harper. No, not Luke Harper. I'm sorry, Rowan. With the tag team belts, and then the Usos came out to kind of challenge, and that was a damn good match. It was a damn good match. I mean, it got me believing that the Usos were actually going to win, but it was a smart move to have Daniel Bryan into the tag division. And I will say this, man, Daniel Bryan, title or no title, he is one of the best wrestlers / performers like of this generation, and definitely making the case of being one of the top 5 best wrestlers of all time. My standard. My standard of who I feel like the best wrestlers of all time have to have not just charisma, not necessarily have to have the best mic skills, but the thing that I look forward to the most in a wrestler is someone who has the ability to make other wrestlers look good, or other storylines or situations to make good. We know that he's really traditionally a singles wrestler, but damn, does he make this tag team division more invigorating. I'm definitely sold into anything that he does. I felt like he was the right guy for Kofi Kingston, and I think that he's the right guy for the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. I definitely think that he's going to be the gatekeeper per se for Heavy Machinery to actually get their first titles. Hopefully, that's not until closer to SummerSlam that we actually see that particular transition. But this was great, and I love the fact that they let Rowan take the win on this. Brilliant, brilliant. And I ask myself, like, how in the world can how in the world can I mean, SmackDown saying it, anyone can make the tag division invigorating because it's on life support. You're absolutely right, but to a certain point and a certain degree. The problem with the tag team division isn't so much that um, the problem with the tag team division isn't so much who has the belt. It's the fact that there's really no storylines for the division itself. There's nothing really to work for because you're essentially shoveling the belt or the matches between the same 3 or 4 tag teams. Bar, New Day, I can't even remember whose Raw tag teams are off the top of my head. But with a Daniel Bryan and a Rowan, I think you can create a storyline around them. With the vegan, the pro vegan and anti meat kind of thing going on. Heavy Machinery is all about the meat and stuff like that. Like it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be fun, and I like it. I can't tell you what the Raw tag team is going to do because they're too busy shaving people's backs and things of that nature. But it's interesting. It's something different, something new. Haven't seen Daniel Bryan in a tag team, like a traditional tag team match since Team Hell No. So I mean, this is just something it's completely different. I think that it's okay. I think it'll be fun. It just needs solid storylines. That's all SmackDown tag teams really need is a solid storyline. Raw just needs to find an identity. I mean, that's essentially what all that is. So on SmackDown, we got our introduction to the I hate the name of this thing, the 4-man coming over from one team to the other, or whatever, the shake up or the whatever it's called. I like this, man, because I like that Kofi is now starting to take some ownership in his own brand, and coming out and calling out cats. And the thing that I like about Kofi's run is that he's literally tempting fate. Like and by the way, if you're not keeping score or keeping count, Kofi Kingston has defended his title more times in his current title reign than Brock Lesnar did in his first year as reigning champ. So that's saying a lot. I'm liking this whole thing. I think that's where the story is that Kofi is just going to continue to keep tempting fate. He's going to be a fighting champion. He's going to put his belt on the line over and over and over again, even though he has a advertised opponent at the pay-per-view. And I think that's intriguing because at any given point in time, they can pull the rug underneath them and someone else could get that chance of that opportunity. But I definitely like this spot for him, especially him and Sami Zayn. I love the fact that AJ kind of just towards the end of the match, he did his thing. He kind of just went on that cocaine break, as they say. I like that. And that three thunder bombs, I loved it, man. The blue thunder bombs. I thought that those were just fitting, very fitting. So kudos for SmackDown for continuing for getting back on that horse, which is what we wanted. I am so grateful for that. SmackDown saying, is it 4 or 5 man? I don't know. I bet Vince doesn't know either. I don't know, man. I know that Monday was kind of convoluted on in terms of how many were supposed to be there. But I think that it's technically supposed to be 4 people, and tag teams count as 1. So hopefully they'll stick to that formula, but I'm pretty sure that 6 months from now that we're not even going to keep track of how many people are going from one brand to the other. I will say though, and I'm not going to go too deep on this because I know that's a sensitive topic, but I got taken back a little bit about this whole Roman Reigns promo that lasted seamlessly like 5 minutes in the middle of SmackDown. I don't understand why they decided to cut this promo. I felt like we've already had the celebration of Roman Reigns and his recovery. Um, I feel like at this point it's being milked a little bit too much. And I hate to say that, but I mean that's honestly how I feel. I am thankful for for the outcome that he's been given and the second chances that he's been given. But this isn't something that I think that is it's becoming more of a PR stunt, I feel, than it is more of anything else. I want to kind of get back to the character and his development of the character. Um, but I want the E to be kind of be very careful about that because to me, it doesn't feel like it's philanthropy that they're trying to do. So I would caution that they just kind of be a little bit careful with those types of promos going forward because you already had some people who are skeptic on what was going on, you know, and I, I'll leave it at that. So hopefully we'll can dial that piece of it back and let's get back to the storyline kind of thing. So, but yeah, that's it. Next week, Goose is probably going to be doing this one alone next week. He's better than I am when it comes to doing the solo shows, and that's okay. But next week should be the go home show for Money in the Bank. I won't give all my predictions now, but I do want to give a couple of them that I know that Goose isn't going to really agree with. So my first prediction for Money in the Bank is I think that this will be a tall tale sign on whether or not Sasha Banks is leaving, like is truly leaving the company or not. If we do not see her in the Money in the Bank women's match, and I know that she's not advertised for it, but this could also be a work. But if she's definitely not advertised or does not show up in some capacity in Money in the Bank, I really do truly believe that Sasha Banks is going to be, she's going to leave, once her contract is completely up. And I don't know how I feel about that. On one hand, I want her to be happy. I want her to be happy. She's a phenomenal talent. I've enjoyed her comeuppance. As with many people, feel that her and Luke Harper specifically have great in-ring ability with great potential in terms of storyline, but just haven't been utilized in the way that they should. SmackDown makes a good point. She's not on the European tour that's happening right now, and she's advertised. And WWE is giving refunds to people because of it. I mean, I think they underestimated her worth. I don't think that it's very hard to pull the trigger on a heel Sasha Banks. Regardless if you feel that it's going to overshadow them, just speculating that it's going to overshadow your other wrestlers like Becky, Two Belts, and Charlotte Flair. But to be honest, that gives you more of the ability to be better, to do better. I don't understand, and I know this isn't where I was supposed to be going with this thing here, but I just don't understand that you guys knew that her and Alexa Bliss are beefing and have beefing, and it's like a blood feud, and you've given the people what they want in terms of the match. Why you just didn't shift her off to SmackDown and let her be a star there? I don't know. But yeah, if she doesn't show up in Money in the Bank, then I definitely believe that it's her time. She's definitely going to be leaving the company. And two, I don't know if I can live in a world where I can't hear Sasha Banks' theme song outside of YouTube or Amazon Music. So that that's that. And then two, I think that I truly believe that Becky Lynch will have 3 matches at Money in the Bank. I think that she will be successful in defeating both Lacey Evans and Charlotte Flair in the same night. But I think that whoever wins the Money in the Bank briefcase, the women's briefcase, is going to cash in that same night. Don't know who it is or who it'll be. Kind of disappointed a bit in the talent that's actually in it. I, and it's no knock on the women there. I know that they worked really hard. Unless it's Ember Moon who actually wins it, which is kind of who I'm pulling for at the moment. I just don't know. But yeah, I mean, those are going to be my main things about Money in the Bank. I will give Goose my picks for the rest of the card next week, so that you guys can really debate on what you feel like the Money in the Bank is, and let us know if you're watching this on YouTube. Just drop us in a comment who your picks are for Money in the Bank. That early prediction for the Money in the Bank. SmartDown says that he's expecting a women's title cash in, even if Alexa already did it once on the same night that she won. It could be done again because, geez, it's the best possible opportunity for it. You're absolutely right. I mean, WWE is laying the groundwork with Becky having to defend 2 belts on the same night, which I absolutely love the concept of her doing that. I like the idea of fighting champions, especially coming off of the worst title reigns in WWE and possibly all of sports. I think that defending as much as you can and succeeding or failing would be a great thing. But the key would be the opener match would have to be the women's Money in the Bank. If that's the opening match, then you know that that's going to be a call in or cash in that night. So it's got to be a good one. So the man is a little bit different, man. I mean, SmackDown saying that he thinks that Drew's going to win. I agree that he's a future champ, but I don't think he needs the briefcase to win it, to be honest with you. My money would be on a heel winning it. And right now, if you had to ask me right now who I would pick, I have to go with Andrade Cien Almas. I feel like having that briefcase on SmackDown would speak more volumes going into Fox than having it on Raw, which Raw they're struggling to put on the show as it is. I don't think the Money in the Bank is going to help them any with that kind of thing. So I don't know. Who knows, man? It'll be interesting. But we'll talk. Like I said, we'll speak on it a little bit more next week. They want to get some shenanigans out of the way. It's not related to wrestling, so I think I'm kind of I'll take that back. Let me just name a couple other things. So it looks like the AEW deal with Time Warner is almost a done deal. I think that we'll know by next week for sure. But it looks like it is going to be Turner Broadcasting or Turner Warner Broadcasting, or wherever they're called now. That's going to ink the deal with AEW. It's almost a lock. And I am definitely excited about that. Being able to watch TNT or TBS to watch wrestling again is interesting to me. Definitely interesting to me. And just as long as the Mortal Kombat Conquest, they get a deal with that, right afterwards, I'd be all right with that, man. I gotta see my Shao Kahn, see what he did to Raiden, because they left us out in the cold back in the WCW Monday Night War days. So gotta figure out what my man's is doing now. But yeah, we'll see how that rolls out. I'm definitely excited for that. Hopefully they get a streaming service provider, either like Hulu or DNZN or whatever streaming service application is out there, because I definitely I'm not gonna watch it live. I've got too much stuff in life to do to watch it live, but I do want to support in some kind of capacity that I can, and that it'd be fun to cover them again. Money in the Bank followed by DON. Don. I don't know what Don is. Gonna be a fun week. Gonna have to fill me in on what DON is. But yeah, I mean that's that. Uh, Switching gears a little bit, guys. So last week we got the trailer for Sonic the Hedgehog, and I told Goose that I'm legit excited about Sonic the Hedgehog. I really am. Um, but there's a lot of people that were backlashing it, man. Double or nothing, yeah. Money in the Bank followed by Double or Nothing. It's gonna be a fun week next week for sure, man. I should have saw that it was Double or Nothing. My bad, man. A little late on this side of the world. Um, yeah, people were really upset about Sonic the Hedgehog, man. Of all things to complain about, people were freaked out about his teeth. His teeth. What are y'all smoking, man? I mean, come on. I mean, I know y'all are out there social justice warring and everything, but come on, man. On his teeth? Like, this is supposed to be one of those movies where you just dumb down the brain and you just have fun and watch, like, the greatness, man. I mean, we got the Sega, we got the rings in there, we got Dr. Robotnik looking great. I mean, come on, man. Y'all are kidding me with that, man. Just for that social justice warrior, y'all gonna be put on the running for the dunce list, man. Because that's just, to me, that is just complete ridiculousness, man. Ridiculousness in all capacities, man. Um, in the fight world, what's it? People complain on the internet. When the world is like, yeah, I know, man. I know. It gets me, man. Like it gets me that people are so like nobody's perfect, man. None. I mean, Avengers Endgame was near perfect, but people were still complaining. Like seriously, we were complaining about a dude in grief counseling section talking about how he was dating a dude or he was going to date a dude or something like that. And people were complaining that there was not more representation in the movie for the LGBTQ community. I'm like, yo, y'all missing the whole point of what the story is, man. It's trying to sit there and tell you that everyone was impacted no matter what, and y'all sitting here talking about how y'all not being represented enough. I mean, y'all gotta stop with that, man. I mean, there's gonna come a point in time where people are just gonna be like, you know what, y'all fucking around too much, and because y'all are fucking around too much, we're just not gonna make no more stuff for you. Period. So y'all can complain. If y'all want to complain about that, y'all can complain about that, and that's just it, man. Just y'all got to come up with that, man. Y'all got to stop. It's just too much, man. But going back to that Sonic thing, man, I think the Sonic looks fine. It looks completely fine. It sounds like now they're gonna redo his whole image, and I honestly thought that he looked completely fine, but we'll see. I think they're gonna try to make him look a little bit more cartoony, which okay, I guess. I also saw the trailer to. It's more of a teaser trailer to Bel Air, Fresh Prince of Bel Air, which is more of a serious take on it. If you guys haven't seen it, I think it came out like 2 weeks ago. And it's kind of set more in a modern time. So like in today's day. And it's not a comedy, like a traditional comedy kind of thing. It's literally more of a drama. It was cool because Will Smith, did kind of an interview on his YouTube channel with the director and creator of it. And y'all should check it out, man. I'm hoping that it gets green lighted. I think that it's kind of, to me, I think that's kind of amazing to be able to do. To be able to take something from your childhood and be able to make it better. I've always wanted to do that with a couple of animes that I like, and either turn them into like RPGs or turn them into or recreate them. Like Breath of Fire, for instance. I know it's not an anime. Well, it kind of is. Part 4 was an anime. But like Breath of Fire, for instance, like Capcom ain't doing nothing with Breath of Fire at all whatsoever, and yet like I've been harking and asking them, let me take the IP from them, sell it to me for $1 and let me do something to it, man. Let me own the rights to it. Let me do something, because it's just sitting there on the shelf collecting dust, and y'all ain't doing nothing for it, man. I've seen like 5 Street Fighters come out. and not one RPG. It took us like almost 6 years to get a Devil May Cry, a continuation of a Devil May Cry, and like Dante's like damn old. Like, come on, Capcom, y'all gotta do better, man. Y'all gotta do better. Y'all got some great properties. Sell some to me. Let me do something with them. I mean, yeah, we gotta start that petition, man. It's hashtag sell to Sage. Capcom sell to Sage. That's what I want. Or sell to our IRWP. Capcom IRWP. Hashtag Capcom. I don't know. It's a little wordy, but we'll make it work, man. I'm just joking. I'm just joking around, guys. Again, y'all make sure to check us out on YouTube. Hashtag IRWP or IRWP Sage, IRWP Ben Goosen. You'll find us on YouTube. Twitter at Real WrestleCast on Twitter. Instagram, It's Real Wrestling Podcast, all spelled out on Instagram, or just hashtag IRWP. You'll find us. We're pretty much everywhere, including all your podcasting platforms and things of that nature. Let's see what else. I guess the last thing I want to end with is, we don't talk a lot about MMA, and that's partially my fault. I'm not really up to date with it. I plan on getting a little bit better with that, guys, and that's on me. But Bellator just announced Jack Swagger's next fight, and oh boy, they just did the press conference or the pre-presser or whatever, where the fighters are shaking hands and posing for promos and stuff like that. And Jack Swagger, I kid you not when I say this, and y'all check it out on Instagram, on our Instagram. It's Real Wrestling Podcast on Instagram. I kid you not, I feel like this Jack guy that they got to fight Swagger, man, he looked like a fan. Like, he legitimately looks like a fan. I hope they really didn't say, hey, you like wrestling? Yeah, you think it's fake? Yeah, it's fake. All right, man, I want you to fight. I want you to fight a wrestling match. What kind of wrestling match is what he didn't say. And the dude found himself in the octagon against Jack Swagger, man. So this dude's gonna get murdered. But best of luck to both fighters. It's gonna be interesting to see, man. Poor dude. I feel for him, man. But yeah, that's about it, man. So thank you guys so much. I don't really have much else to say on that, but if I have to close a bit here, I do plan on I need to cover another wrestling promotion because, like I said at the top of the show, it feels like WWE is not even trying anymore. And again, I'm a big advocate of wrestlers in general, and to see what I've been seeing transpire in the last couple of weeks is disheartening. And maybe it is time for me to take a bit of a break, or some of us, or all of us, for that instance, to take a little bit of a break and start supporting other promotions, other, televised promotions, and just giving our attention to them, because they're not getting it. They're just not getting it. So definitely wish them the best, and hopefully things will get better. But if it doesn't, oh well, that's what it is. Yeah, I like NXT UK and NXT in general. So I mean, when I say that, I'm more talking about SmackDown and Raw. More so Raw than SmackDown. I definitely I do enjoy watching SmackDown, regardless of who they have on there. I'm still worried about the whole Roman Reigns, but it seems like they're taking him a little bit slow. So that's a plus thing, man. Just as long as they don't put him shotgun into the title picture, you're good with Sage the Mark. So, but that's about it. If you guys want to give your take or your reviews of this, this week or next week, you can always give us a call on the hotline 419-777-IRWP, 419-777-IRWP. We also have a Discord. I don't have the credentials for the Discord, but it is in the video or in the show notes, whichever one that you're looking at. So feel free to jump into the Discord chat, and we could talk more about wrestling, and also get your recording for the week as well if you're a Discord kind of person. But that's it, man. That's it for your boy Sage the Mark. I appreciate you all tuning in and listening to me rambling and rambling like the rabbit, I should say. Rest in peace, rambling rabbit. But yeah, next week it'll most likely be all Ben Goose, since y'all give him hell, because your boy Sage the Mark, he loves you. He comes on when nobody else will, because that's what I do. So with that being said, thank you so much. Thank you for the support, the love. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, share this out to your friends. We are on a collision course to get 1,000 followers on YouTube by the end of the year for our next upgrade to our podcast. But we can't do that without the love and support of our community. So y'all make sure to go ahead and do that. On behalf of Ben Goosen and your boy Sage the Mark, I'm out. Y'all know the drill. Keep it real. Peace. Thank you so much, guys, for listening to It's Real Wrestling Podcast. Remember, the thoughts and opinions of It's Real Wrestling Podcast is that of the host and or guest, and do not reflect IRWP as a whole. Make sure y'all take the time to check us out on Twitter at Real WrestleCast on Twitter. We got Instagram. You on the gram? We on the gram. Hit us up on the gram. It's Real Wrestling Podcast, all spelled out. And if you want to help support the show, you can always do so by joining us at patreon.com/IRWP. Again, that's patreon.com/IRWP. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you so much for listening on whatever platform you're listening on. Y'all love one another, but most of all, y'all keep it real.